Hello, my name is David Wiseman. I would like to show you my audience. And so let's get into it. I'd like to talk to you guys about the USAPL, which is a powerlifting federation, or you could also call it an organization. And this is a way that powerlifters can compete in the sport. I myself have been to two powerlifting meets. I placed in both of those meets. I placed second in my first one and third in my second one. My best lift is a 580-pound deadlift, so I'd like to think that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to powerlifting. So with that, I would like to say that the USAPL is the easiest and the largest organization that you can join. And the reason that it is so large is because it has a lot of great characteristics to it. For example, there's many great people that I've met there while I've been lifting. There's the ability to break records while you're competing in this federation. It is drug tested, so that way you can ensure that the competition is fair and all athletes get a fair chance, so there's not any performance-enhancing drugs involved in the equation. It's also relatively cheap compared to other federations or organizations. It's about $50 annually, depending on how old you are and what you want to do. And it's about $100 per meet, which is relatively cheap, all things considered. Another reason that this is a great federation to join is because the USAPL sets the standard for powerlifting in America. All the referees, they're great at every single meet. They like to make the rules very clear and fair for all the lifters that compete. And they left a much larger organization called the IPF, International Powerlifting Federation. And they left this because they did not agree with the ideals that they were starting to enforce and all the restrictions that they had. So the USAPL cared about its lifters. They listened to what they had to say, and they decided to leave, which was a very smart move for the lifters and the organization as a whole. And on top of this, my personal experience with this federation has been amazing. Every single meet, I've met plenty of people. I've done meets with people that I've met at meets that I just met there. It's a super safe environment. All the spotters, the coaches, all the athletes, they're all very safe, and they all, everybody just wants to see each other perform at their best. And like I mentioned earlier, I've went to two meets. I got two medals, so it is pretty. There's a good chance that you can place in your meets. Also, I personally, at my first meet, I had 400 pounds on my back on a squat, and I had to drop it, and the spotters kept me safe. They kept themselves safe, and they didn't break any of the equipment. So they did a great job to that. Kudos to them. And I would really just like to emphasize how safe and of just an overall easy organization to join and be a part of that the USAPL is. I strongly encourage anybody who's even remotely into lifting just to try this out, even if you're being super serious about it or if you want to get into it casually. It's a super fun experience. It's not terribly expensive, and you can really, really learn a lot. Every time I've been to a meet, I come back with multiple new skill sets and things that I want to work on and things that I want to try. And even if you don't lift, maybe you can get into the sport and see if there's anything about it that really interests you. I'm going to turn this over to audience questions.
Can anyone register?
Yeah, so actually anybody can register for a powerlifting meet as long as you are, I believe, above the age of 8, it might be. And as long as you can lift the bar, that's all it takes. You don't have to be super crazy strong to be able to do this. All you have to do is just go out there and give it your all, really.
How do I register for a meet?
So, good question. The way that you would go about registering for the meet is you would check the website, usapowerlifting.com. You could look at the calendar, find any dates that interest you, and once you select a meet that you think that you would like to attend, you purchase the USAPL membership, which could range you anywhere from $40 to, I believe it's $65. You purchase the membership, and then you buy entry into the meet. You usually get a t-shirt, and from there you just show up to the meet. All you need is the proper lifting attire, which is on the website, and you can find that out easily.